So Red Dead Redemption released on the 26th of October 2018, with the online portion of the game's beta coming out around a month later. So the story version of Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably one of the best of all time, if not the best. And it is widely loved, receiving a 10 out of 10 on IGN and a 9.7 out of 10 on IMDb. It's safe to say that the story was well received. Taking that into account, you would think that the Red Dead Online gaming experience would be amazing, but that couldn't be further from the case, as we are going to see in today's video. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So one of the main criticisms I see about Red Dead Online is the fact of the economy. Many people complain that the items in the game are just way too expensive and that Rockstar have made it that way to make you spend money, but I don't think that's actually the case. I don't actually think the items are that expensive. Yes, they appear expensive when you first jump onto the game and you have $0, but as soon as you get the role set up and you get the collector especially, you will start to notice that you make a lot more money than you need. So on the face of it may seem like Rockstar's intention with this money thing was to get people to fork over their real life money. But when you actually start to play the game and you're raking in thousands and thousands of dollars, you realize that this probably isn't the case, and that it is actually a lazy solution to a massive problem in Red Dead Online. And that problem is there is simply not much to buy. This is a massive problem, as not having much to buy means two things. One, players will get bored very quickly as there's not a lot to grind towards, and two, how is Rockstar gonna make money if there's literally nothing to spend your money on? So these two main problems create two sub-problems, and those sub-problems are one, players getting bored, and two, which is probably the biggest issue, and that is Rockstar isn't making much money from Red Dead Online. And while I think it goes without saying Red Dead Online is probably still making Rockstar money, it's probably making nowhere near as much money as GTA Online. And this has led to one massive issue, and that is the lack of Rockstar's updates for Red Dead Online. Red Dead Online hasn't had many updates. The only updates it has had are a couple of roles, and that is it. There hasn't been any new vehicle updates, any new horse updates. There hasn't really been that much added to the game to keep it fresh, and that is a massive issue. If nothing new is added to the game, what's to keep players coming back once they've got all the best horses and all the best guns? Nothing. There is literally no reason to come back. And that is the first reason that Red Dead Online is bad. It is simply being abandoned. Rockstar seemingly don't care about it because it doesn't make them that much money, and that is terrible. So the next thing I want to talk about within Red Dead Redemption 2 Online is the transportation system. No, I'm not talking about the train. I'm talking about how you get from A to B. So fast travel and horses. They are the two main transportation methods within Red Dead 2 Online. And your main method of transportation to get from point A to point B in Red Dead Online is your horse. And this is probably one of the most annoying parts of Red Dead Online. The map on Red Dead Online is huge and horses are relatively slow, so getting from point A to point B can be very time consuming and monotonous. Pretty much every aspect of Red Dead Online revolves around you and your horse. Bounty hunter mission, doing the collector role, doing the trader role, doing the moonshiner role. All of them involve you on a horse going from somewhere to somewhere else. So you may be asking what is wrong with the horses, so I'm going to tell you guys now. The first thing that I find really annoying with the horses is the cause. I understand that in real life horses are not immortal and cannot ride and ride and ride forever without getting exhausted. I understand that, but let's not forget this is a video game and video games are supposed to be fun, and there is nothing fun about stopping and waiting midway through a mission for your horse's cause to restore. I understand in the main story introducing this idea of having to look after your horse and feed your horse, but in an online game I definitely feel the pacing should be dealt with a little bit differently. People who go to online games want a fast action-packed experience. This is mainly one of the reasons why why GTA Online is so successful. So why on earth would you implement this feature that directly impacts on the pacing of the game? Why would you do that? My second gripe with horses is how easily they die. You can easily go down a steep hill, your horse will fall over, land on its head, and it will die. Or you can jump off a very small cliff, I'm talking literally a meter, and your horse can die, and then you have to wait 2 minutes if you don't have any horse reviver. And in a mission, these 2 minutes can be valuable. I think that Rockstar should reduce the cooldown period, especially when other players can just kill your horse for the fun of it, and then you have to wait 2 minutes. I get it if you crash your own horse, it's sort of a punishment, but you cannot help other people killing your horse, so I don't think you should be punished for that. And this idea of transportation brings me on to fast travel, the only non-painful way to travel in this game, and Rockstar have managed to make it painful. If you want to go from A to B using fast travel, you have to pay money for it, and this can cost up to $11. I don't think it's really the cost that is the issue here though. I think the issue is with Rockstar locking the only good transportation method in the game behind a paywall, and for me it's transportation that ruins Red Dead Online. When you get a Rockstar game, you know that transportation and getting from A to B and exploring the map is going to be the main focus of the gameplay, and when that's bad, the rest of the game can only follow that suit. So doing bounty hunter missions and the trader role and the collector role and the moonshiner role and stranger missions and the treasure map all become one monotonous grind because every single element involves you on a horse or you on a wagon, both of which are so monotonous you literally want to fall asleep. I'm not even kidding, I did a trader mission this morning and I was genuinely falling asleep after 10 minutes of doing it. Only 10 minutes and I was already bored. Even bounty hunter missions, for God's sake, are ruined because you have to ride for 5 minutes to the target and 5 minutes back. So even that is boring. And that brings me on to my third point. Red Dead Online is boring. It is not necessarily a bad game, it is just simply boring. Red Dead Online is a beautiful game. It feels compelling, the world feels lived in, it feels real, and the combat mechanics are unparalleled to anything else on any other video game ever. But Red Dead Online can still not escape from the fact that it is just simply boring. Compared to the story, Red Dead Online feels soulless. There doesn't seem to be as many NPCs running around, it doesn't seem as lived in, it doesn't seem as real. And this would be perfectly excusable if Red Dead Online was completely different to the story, but it isn't. Basically, Red Dead Redemption 2 Online is a bare bones version of Red Dead Redemption 2. That's basically what it is. Now, while a bare bones Red Dead 2 is by no means a bad experience, it is simply not as good as you would expect. It's just so much less captivating and so much less exciting than it could have been. And that's more disappointing than anything. The fact that we could have had something compelling and exciting, but instead we got the boring mess that is Red Dead Online. But what actually makes Red Dead Online boring? Well, it's exactly what I've talked about in today's video. The fact that there isn't that much to buy, so grinding for money after a while just gets pointless and monotonous. And pretty much the only things you have to do in Red Dead Online, which is the collector, the trader, the bounty hunter, and the moonshiner, are all really repetitive and all rely on horse travel, which is, as I've stated in today's video, extremely painful and extremely boring. Now, I know I said that was the final issue I have with Red Dead Online, but it's not. There's one final issue I need to talk about, and that is bugs. Red Dead Online has quite a lot of bugs, and I'm going to basically explain one of the bugs that I've personally experienced right now. So basically, me and my friends were doing a long distance trader delivery, and around halfway along the route we got stuck on a bridge, which is perfectly fine, you should just reverse and carry on, but that was not the case. Instead, the trader wagon got stuck, like properly stuck, like you're not able to move it at all. The horse ran off and we were utterly screwed. Basically, the game prompted us to pick up the packets from the wagon, put them on our horses and ride them ourselves to the drop-off point, which is obviously not ideal. But when we went to pick them up, we noticed that they were glitched. One of the packages had been sent to Valentine and was literally under the map, and the other one was lodged halfway between the wagon, literally halfway in the wagon. So half of it was coming out the bottom and half of it was coming out the top, and neither were retrievable. But somehow a rival player was able to steal one of the packages and take it to the drop-off point, and the other half of the delivery was lost under the map. And a rival player managed to get one of the packages and take it to the drop-off point himself, and the other half of the wagon goods were lost under the map in Valentine. And that was a 50 good delivery, meaning me and my friends lost $90 and $180 respectively because of a glitch. Now this should not be happening. A game as big as Red Dead Redemption 2 should not have a glitch as bad as this that causes you to lose so much money. And as well as money, my friend lost about 2 hours of time, which it took him to obtain the 50 goods which we were selling. So that is 2 hours of his time he essentially lost to a glitch. And I know there are plenty of examples of other glitches ruining people's experiences. And earlier on in the game, a glitch like this may have been acceptable because you could accept it as a teething issue with the game. However, the game has been out for over a year now, so no such glitch as this should be present in the game. So due to the fact that Red Dead Online has glitches, it is boring, the economy is broken, there is not many things to buy, and the transport methods in the game are either monotonous or locked behind a paywall, Red Dead Online is bad. So there you have it, that is why I think Red Dead Online is bad. Let me know what your opinion on Red Dead Online is in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe with post notifications turned on so you never miss an upload. My name is Basically Trending, and I'll see you guys next time.